Hello again, Ian Stuckey with Mastermind Games, back for more Malifaux, and this time Mei Fang's henchman Kang. So, I had a little trouble assembling him, and I could not find the best instructions on a weird site. I think the instructions were for a prototype, so I think we were supposed to have either the hat or one of these tails, and I wound up putting it all on because I wasn't quite sure what to do, so it's going to be kind of a mess, but my mistake, and I'm going to roll with it. Tanskin 09044. There's not a whole lot to Kang other than he's loyal to Mei Fang. Now, one change for 3rd edition is he apparently lost an arm in a fight, and they basically gave him the same treatment that Jax from Mortal Kombat got in Mortal Kombat 3, where they just took the previously existing art and just sort of did a cyborg-looking pattern over it, which, I don't know, I feel it's kind of cheap for this. I mean, Von Schill lost limbs, and he's got new sculpt for it, I've heard, and I think he's getting a new sculpt, but so did, I hope I'm losing track of the character's name. What is that guy's name? Oh, Ramos's second in command, Native American guy, big axes. I can't believe I am blanking on the name right now. Joss lost an arm. He's got a new sculpt now with the bionic replacement. It's just kind of odd that they did that. So I'm gonna do him just pre-dismemberment. Alright. So there's that. Shield Brown 09161. Which is just about cached. That might be enough to do what I want to do. Make sure I'm still, still having that focus issue. And, alright, well, I'm going to keep trying till I get it right. I've got the best camera I can afford, so I'm just going to have to roll with it. Alright, I'll go ahead and get the hat. Yeah, it is July 2nd as I start this. Coming up on Independence Day, which is on the 4th. And I've got people shooting off fireworks in my neighborhood, even though it's illegal and fines start at $1,000. I might do something else on the hat later, but I'm just going to leave it as this for now. Maybe I'll just play around with the shading and the light and make it look a little different. Touch up the base coat on the back of the head here. A little more of that tanned skin. Okay. And then I can actually also take Templar Blue 09056 and get his pants. So he's got sturdy pants and an apron, and this is a new pot and it's clogged, so that'll happen. So paperclip down that nozzle. So he's got a big sturdy apron on for working with hot metals, which would, well, just when I thought I got the focus thing fixed, I seem to have actually made it worse, so whatever, I am just going to roll with this, get this segment done, and see if I can't fix the problem. I'm just going to keep trying until I get it right. While I like having constructive criticism, because it helps me find problems, comments that are just boiled down to some kind of personal attack or seeming made just out of spite without any constructive element just tick me off and have aren't even worth a response. So there's no shortage of negativity on, well, the internet in general. But trying to start a flame war, well, that's just incredibly immature. So that's not a bad start. But there's one more thing I can do with that shield brown. I've sculpted some railroad ties under the ground. So I'll just go ahead and do that before I forget I put them there. And there's some dirt too. The Emberling didn't have this because a lot of his base was consumed by his integrated sort of coal bed, and Mei Fang had that amazing set of splintered wood she was leaping amidst. But the other models in her kit needed a little more. So there we go. Let this dry out and come back in a bit. Alright. Playing around with my lighting a little more, but also moving on. Fur brown. And I'm gonna pick a smaller brush so I have a little more control. If I can get it out there, there we are. Using just enough water to thin the paint, keeping my brush moist but not overly wet. Get his gloves. Now, one alternate part he did have was a shovel instead of a hammer, which is cool in and of itself, but I just liked the hammer better. So get that and his boots. And I'll also get this wrapping here below his knees. I'm going to take uniform gray. And use this for his apron. Going back to the slightly larger brush. Yeah, thinking about my comments on negativity and the criticism, etc., I'm dealing with a lot of negativity in general. I was kind of tired of it. I at least am trying. There's a lot of people out there who don't even do that much. now. Tarnished steel 09206. Just going on this socket wrench, which I thought this might be tied to his belt, but it's clearly some kind of ponytail or braid. And the head of the hammer. And like I said, this model had an alternate hammer, but the instructions that Weird had online, at least at the time, they seemed to be for a prototype sculpt. And alternate parts for the head, I'm assuming, were included later, but not updated, so... And he's got this buckle on his shoulder for the apron. And I'm going to let that dry before I get the hair and the rest of the basing, but almost there. Oh, and my system has decided to start dropping frames like madness again, so... Okay. Let it dry and come back. Alright. Finish up base coats, Rainy Gray 09038. Giving him black hair. So, this is one way to do it. Not that brush, grabbed the wrong one. So now the back of his head here, I'll just go under here and get the two braids. Which again is the result of the mistakes I made during assembly, so my Kang is just going to look kind of funny. Like maybe he's either got fake hair coming out of his hat or just two really long braids that taper off. Whatever. Ruddy Leather 09109. Comparing him to other models size-wise, with that hammer he looks a bit like Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat. The sculpting I've done here is pretty shallow, and I pretty much just did patterns in it, so the wood patterns embedded in there. The dirt is a different pattern. I'm keeping my brush moist but not overly wet. Okay, gonna let that dry and move on. So shading when I come back. Alright, I played around with my lighting again. We'll see if I get what I want. But pure black 09037. For particularly dark colors, you'll need 2 to 3 parts water to 1 part paint. You really need to adjust that one. It's actually blinding me. Alright, so 2 to 3 parts water to 1 part paint. Go along the hair. And then I'm going to take Ruddy Leather 09109. Get the gloves, boots, and those tie-offs at the knees. Yeah, I am still very much having those focus issues. So I will keep trying until I get it right. Okay. Let that dry and move on a bit. Alright, I played around with my lighting again. I'll see what we get this time. Blackened Steel 09205. You know what? No, not get on that one. First, I'm going to take Stormy Gray 09088. Okay, oh boy, I just punched out my light. I'm going to have to rethink this again, I think. Get the apron while avoiding the flesh. Now Blackened Steel 09205. Alright, where'd I put what? That one goes there, that one goes there. Color. And Pure Black 09037 again. Oh, before I do that, I almost forgot the buckle on the shoulder there. And again, 2 to 3 parts water to 1 part paint for particularly dark colors like this. Let's go on the dirt, being careful around the boots. Alright, let that dry completely and then move on. Well, played around with it, inconvenienced myself with the placement, and still didn't fix anything. Alright, try something new and come back. Alright, I'm playing around with my lighting again. Breonne Blue 09055. I think I can get the rest of the shading now. So we'll give it a shot, see if we pull it off. And I'm definitely in trouble if I'm referring to myself as a we. Alright, so just going over the denim here. Alright. Now I think we'll go ahead and do the skin next. So Tanned Shadow 09043. Still being fought on focus. Crying out loud. Still being fought on the whole focus thing. Alright, fine. Just gonna get this done. Play around with the lighting again in the next segment. See what I end up with. And again, I'm thinning this with 1 part water to 1 part paint. Just letting that flow all over his skin. Again, I'm electing not to give him the Mortal Kombat 3-esque cyber arm. Just kind of seemed, I don't know, cheap to me to go that route and say he's got it without just do a sort of recolor on the previously existing artwork. It's kind of, yeah, just sort of ramble here. Woodstain Brown 09160. Yeah. Oh, sure, now it likes me. I mean, again, I'll keep trying until I get it right. So, and going along the wood texture in the base. This is just a quick sculpt job I did. Alright. Let that dry completely, and then I can start highlights and details. Now, the system's deciding to drop hundreds of frames a second again, so back in a minute. Alright, time to finish up. Matte white. Using a very small amount of water, just enough to thin the paint. the eyes. Give that a minute. Pure black 09037. Just a tiny dot of this right now. Again, very little water. Now switching over to a ragged feathered brush, something along the lines of this. Tanned highlight 09045. Straight paint, no water. I'm rubbing out most of it on the paper towel I've got until it looks like there's nothing left. And lightly dusting the area to be affected. Going against any raised areas. That is too much. One thing about dry brushing is the paint dries very quickly, but you also only have a second or two to fix any mistakes you might make. Ashen blue 09057. Oh, I am just having the worst luck with all of this right now. Let's focus. Back a bit. Where is it? Misty Gray 09090. This one's about cached. That's a little lighter than I wanted, but it'll work. Driftwood Brown 09162. Burnt Orange 09111. Trying to drop frames like a madness again. Boy. Let's go on the leather on his outfit and the dirt. Alright. True Silver 09207. Just need to find the right brush here, that won't work. And I just realized I forgot that little bit on the shoulder. It's easy to fix. I just need to grab a fresh brush. And pure black again, 09037. I'm going to use this to not only finish up the highlights, but do the basing. That hair a little dusting. And switching over to a flathead. Using just enough water to get the paint thinned out. Going over the base. Just lining the edge and cleaning things up. Okay, there's Kang. Let's start focus again. Come on. There we go. So still got to play around with the lighting and other things, but I'll get there eventually. Got some minions up next. Till next time, I am Ian Stick with Mastermind Games, signing out.